Hello everyone, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another lesson in our ongoing French course. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at the verb épeler. Épeler means to spell, specifically to spell something out loud, letter by letter, or to, we might say in English, to spell out. There is a different word that means to be spelled, and I will talk about that in just a minute. Let's take a look at épeler first. Épeler actually comes from the Old Frankish language. I'm not sure of the pronunciation because I don't speak Old Frankish, something like spelon, spelon. And this is where we get the English word spell from. So épeler and to spell are actually related words. Épeler is a regular ER verb, so you'll use the regular ER verb endings, but it's one of those regular ER verbs that has a spelling change. So let's take a look at the forms. So we start with the root. Remember, you remove the ER from the infinitive and you have the root. So j'épelle. When I add the ending, what happens? The consonant doubles. J'épelle, I spell or I spell out. Tu. You start with the root, add your ending, which is es for tu, and the consonant will double. Il, elle, on. Start with the root, add the ending, which is just the E, and remember the consonant doubles. Nous, remember for the nous and the vous form, there is no spelling change from the infinitive. So for nous, we have the root, and then we just simply add the ending. Nous épelons. Vous, also no spelling change in the vous form. Add the easy ending, vous épelez, and then il, elle. Start with the root and then add the ending, and then again the consonant will double. So there you have it. The verb to spell out, épeler, j'épelle, tu épelles, il, elle, on épelle, nous épelons, vous épelez, ils épellent. Notice the change in the pronunciation of the E. Épelle, 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 épelons. So we go from E to E. Épelle, épelons, épelons, épeler, and then back to épelle. Okay, so now we've arrived at the very fun and exciting part of this lesson. Let's put it into context. How would we actually use this? Let's look at some examples. So the first thing you could say is something like, I spell out my name, j'épelle mon nom. And remember, if you use épeler, well, you're going to spell it out letter by letter. J'épelle mon nom. You could also say, I spell out the word, j'épelle le mot. Somebody might tell you, spell out your name. Épelle ton nom. Épelle ton nom. Spell out your name. You might also hear the question, comment s'appelle le mot? How is this word spelled out? And again, this implies spelling it out letter by letter. Okay, so at this point, some of you may have the question, well, I've heard the expression s'écrire. How does that differ? Well, s'écrire, notice the verb écrire, to write. This is a reflexive verb, so s'écrire means to be spelled. And this is an expression that you will much more commonly hear than the verb épeler. So how are they different? Well, again, s'écrire means to be spelled, and épeler means to spell out letter by letter. So if you wanted to ask the question something like, is that spelled with one T or two T's? You would choose the expression s'écrire. If you just want to say, spell that out, well, then you would use épeler. Here's the very common expression that you'll hear in regards to spelling. You may have learned this already. Ça s'écrit comment? Ça s'écrit comment, which literally means that is spelled how. It's the way of asking in French, how is that spelled? Note that when you ask this question, someone may spell it out letter by letter, or they may tell you something like, well, it's spelled with one T or two T's. So remember, other verbs that are regular verbs with spelling changes are the verb appeler, which we've had a lesson on that as well, Jeter, to throw. We've had a lesson with that as well. This is épeler. Other verbs, projeter and rappeler, follow the same pattern. All right, well, that's it for this lesson. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, I would appreciate it very much if you'd give it a like. To continue learning and go on to another lesson, click on the video that appears here on your screen. Thank you so much, subscribers, for your support, and I'll see you soon. A bientôt.